Australia sure is a big, big country. It is amazingly diverse, and I'm very fortunate we've got companies like Air North that fly through these beautiful areas. I'm at Broome Airport. We're about to fly an hour to Kununurra. We're in the Kimberley region. I'm actually going to Home Valley Station. I've always wanted to go there. I've heard the barramundi fishing is sensational. Let's go fishing, Jetty.
Yeah.
Welcome to Kununurra, a fairly young, booming, lively town which lies on ancient lands where early Aboriginal tribes roamed. Its indigenous name means the meeting of big waters. The off-road journey on our way to Home Valley Station takes you through some of Australia's most scenic landscapes. Magnificent gorges, waterfalls, tidal rivers and cattle stations, some the size of small European countries.
Welcome to the East Kimberley and the beautiful Coburn Range. It was discovered by the explorer King in 1819, and believe it or not, it was actually formed when the tip of Australia hit Southeast Asia 1,850 million years ago. A long time in the making, but this is what Home Valley Station is all about.
The vast majority of the attractions here involve water, lots of water, and water means life. The flora and fauna is amazing and there's plenty of it. And of course, excellent fishing.
Getting to Home Valley Station is an adventure in itself. Out of the township of Kununurra, there's a wonderful regional airport. Our team of staff here will have a vehicle waiting, and it's a 55-kilometre drive along the sealed road before you hit the famous Gibb River Road. It's 70 kilometres, call it. And you're now travelling through what is typical Kimberley country and arriving into a driveway that brings you down to that green grass, and it's an outback oasis.
Home Valley Station is both a family paradise and a honeymooner's delight. It has so much to offer. Whether you're into camping and caravanning, or you'd like to be pampered by relaxing and unwinding in more luxurious surroundings, then this is the place for you. There's something here to suit everyone's needs, tastes and budget. The station is also a great place to base yourself while you take in the sheer beauty of the surrounding Kimberley region.
So in a nutshell, Chris, what is the purpose of Home Valley Station?
Well, in the Home Valley Station area, well, firstly, 615,000 acres. You have a homestead, have 40 rooms of accommodation. We have an Indigenous training program for sustainable employment for Indigenous men and women from around this area. It's an intake where they have the opportunity to complete certificate courses, living and working on site here at Home Valley. These trainees will one day walk away after completing their certificate courses with life skills, hands-on practical skills, be it from working a reception desk or in back of house kitchen, the culinary courses that are done here, from housekeeping, all of the resort departments, right the way through to maintenance, workshop. Fishing goes without saying, you know, and that's probably the best office they can have, as you would no doubt agree with. But getting amongst the cattle and learning about the cattle, but also taking out the musters and riding horses and learning the stable, how to run the stable complex and our lovely team of horses. Bush tucker tours, walking gorges, twitches tours for those that love their birds. And you know what, having access to these rivers, that the lifeblood of the East Kimberley is that Pentecost River, some of the biggest barra in that river, and we are sitting right on it. So we're a working cattle station, we're an Indigenous training program, and we're a world-class resort.
Tell me about the Dusty Bar and Grill, because that place is very, very cool.
In short, every night is a Saturday night at the Dusty Bar and Grill. Whether it be live entertainment, albeit Indigenous, there's some country and western singers that will get there, which you'll see here, or the didgeridoo performance on stage, or down by the fire. The Dusty Bar and Grill, it's a nice open area serving wonderful food and wonderful service from our staff.
The Pentecost River is a crocodile's haven. It has 7 tributaries and is 118 kilometres long and was named after John Pentecost, who surveyed the river in 1882 while on an expedition led by Michael Durack. Hence the nearby Durack River, named in his honour.
Beautiful morning here on the Pentecost River at Home Valley Station. Whenever I look, another fantastic scene. Now my partners in crime today are the #1 fishing guide at Home Valley, Troy Heathwood, and his apprentice, and I say he's very, very good apprentice, Clayton Johnson. Now Clayton is the man. We're going to talk to him a little bit later and hopefully he's going to find us a beautiful barramundi.
While we waited for the right tides, Clayton decided to practice his cast net skills because big barra love a good feed of mullet. But so do crocs for that matter. I sure do hope Clayton is a fast runner.
This is killing time Home Valley Station style. We've got a couple of hours up our sleeve, which is pretty rare for us, but we got up nice and early because in a couple of hours what's going to happen is there's a rock bar just down the river. The salt water is going to push up over the rock bar, and with the salt water which is being pushed by the tide, there's going to be a heap of bait. So all the living creatures in this creek, the barramundi, the catfish, the crocodiles, they're all going to be down there ready and waiting, and as the bait gets pushed over they're going to want to feed. We're going to station ourselves just down there, cast a few lures, have a bit of fun, but in the meantime we're soaking a few mullet, just killing a bit of time and having a good time. So Clayton, how long have you been at Home Valley for?
For 7 months.
Yeah, and how did you hear about what Home Valley Station does?
Oh, through my family. My sister was working out here. She told me about a tourism job going out here.
And when you say tourism job, have you got a traineeship?
Yeah, this 2-year tour guide training.
So what sort of things have you learnt so far?
How to use the rod, go on the boat, and yeah, and just lures.
And how to use lures?
Yeah.
What about backing the car? I heard you can back a mean trailer.
Yeah. On my second try I did.
Very good. So when you leave Home Valley after your traineeship, what sort of job would you like to have?
I'll just stick to it. Just keep in the tourism industry.
So you'd like to take people fishing for a living?
Yeah, and show them my country.
All great sportsmen need professional help. Tiger Woods has a caddy. Paul Worsling, the fishing sportsman, he's got a producer. Now that's a dedicated man. Oh, he's a jumper. Just troll past the snag in the river, and as always, you find the structure, you find the fish. As I said earlier, just time wasting this morning, wasting a couple of hours, waiting for the tide to come up. And look at that, tiny little barra has smashed that massive Yozuri. That is just amazing. The front hook's obviously fallen out, but the back hook's pegged him. And that is a baby barramundi, and that's the sort of fish you'd probably expect to catch in these more fresh waters, so to speak. Just a tiny little fish. Just try and support him for the camera. Look at that. I just want to avoid the spike because these are the little guys that cut you to pieces. So, baby barramundi, oh, not a bad way to start. The old crystal minnow nailed him. Mate, I'm going to do you a favour. I'm just going to do this for you. Oh, and away you go. First run's on the board, and the day is still young. Take it. It's just taken line off the reel. That's a girl, that's a girl, that's a girl. Take it. And yes, gotcha. Whoa, it's a barra too. How good's that? We've just been wasting a little time, as I told you, home valley style, and we've come to the mouth of this little creek and we're waiting for the tide to come in. And Troy just said, let's just soak a few baits. This is a nice fish, mate. Let's just soak a few baits and wait for the fish to come to us. So that's what we're doing. And I'm going to bring this fish around this side because that's what he's decided to do. Excuse me, Troy. Oh, I've got an anchor rope this side. Come around this way. Oh, that's a nice fish. He's going to jump in the boat. Oh, I can't believe this. I would have been fishing all sorts of areas nowhere near here, but when you see the water that's just started to come up, and Troy said the minute that water comes up and that brook stops bubbling, and you'll know what I mean when you look at the pictures, we'll catch fish. And it literally took about 60 seconds after he said, I think it's time. And have a look at that for a barra. A beautiful barramundi. And he's actually got, I'm just going to grab him by the jaw, I think, mate. He's actually got a really weird face on him and throat. Obviously, he's had a past encounter that wasn't all that pleasant. Oh, don't bite me, mate. Ow. He's actually biting me. Come on, mate. There's our barra. I'm just going to show him to you in case he falls off. Look at that. Look at that under there. Mate, I might just grab that grip off you because he's giving me a hard time here, Mr. Barramundi. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Now, have a look at this for weird. The weird and wonderful things we see. That is a cracker fish. And he's actually a salty too. Now, Troy, it's almost fresh water up here, but he's actually a salty. He's all chromed up. His tail still has that nice black look. And look at that. This is a really, really good indication. Look at his throat. See that? Now, that has to be an injury that he has had sometime in his life. You can see his whole bottom throat is dislocated, nearly broken. And he has obviously survived. He's in quite good nick, still feeding well. So it just goes to show fish are extremely tough. If you let them go, they're going to make a go of it because they're sensational. Now, I want to take my glasses off just so I can get a good look at you. Barramundi, home valley station style, and I'm told it's only going to get better by the minute. I'm loving this. Not fair to this bloke, but I'm just going to put him there for a sec because Troy, grab that rod. My producer, Michael Dickerson, he's a legend. He was doing everything, saw this rod buckled over in the background, and Troy, don't you just I hate it when the people up the front have to hand you a fishing rod. Now my barra, that's actually good for him because that other fish is swimming there nicely. And this is exactly what you said, mate, isn't it? That tide would turn and the fish would come.
Yep. Coming along that dirty water line.
Yep.
Whoa. There we go.
So what is your theory behind it, mate?
Well, when that water comes down, it comes over that rock bar. With the water comes some bait fish, and you'll find most days, well, hey, there we go. Most days while we're waiting here, not only will the barra come in to get the bait fish, generally a couple of crocs.
Yep.
All the birds start lining the bank. It's sort of like feeding time.
So it's a scenic delight. That's a beautiful little fish.
It's not too bad.
So what size generally are the barramundi in this part of the river?
Well, through the day, before the tide comes through,
yep,
you mostly just get your rat barra on the snags and
so
that.
What do you mean by a rat?
Rat. Basically, around a year or 2 year old.
Yep, so a small fish.
Yeah, 40 to 55 centimetres.
Yep.
You get the odd bigger one, But when this water comes through, I don't know whether the barra move up from downstream or come down with a bit of the water.
Yep.
But we seem to get a lot bigger ones on the tide.
This fish is giving a very good account of itself. Come here, mate. I'm just going to put him in there. Come here. Open your mouth again. Say g'day. Say hello. Gotcha. And straight up. Oh, he's actually a little bit bigger than I thought he was, mate. So that's a lot better than a rat. That's a, what, 65 centimetre fish?
Yeah, that's a good plate-sized fish.
It is plate size. Now, speaking of plates, I've got a large plate back at Home Valley Station. What am I going to put on it for dinner tonight?
Well, I think if we sneak one of these fish back, we've got a chef there.
Yep.
That delights himself in turning him into a magic meal.
Sensational. Well, this fish is going to go back in there. My fish, which is happily swimming over the side, he might be coming back for dinner. Oh, it's all part of the fun. Whoop. Yes, mate, I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about your mate. You're going back. You're one lucky barra. Here you go, girl. It is your lucky day. And this is the great thing about fishing, any form of fishing. You have the ability to selectively choose your dinner. And this fish, I chose not to eat it. This one's going back, but I love my barramundi. I love a feeder barra. So that other one over there, she's in a little bit of trouble. I'm just swimming this fish. Obviously, I'm always aware that there is a chance of a crocodile. So I'm just being ready to do that. And then I just turn her on her back and look at that. She'll just swim off. Look at that tail beat. Look at that. That fish is just sitting there, just cruising away. That is just so pretty. Oh, I love them so much. I just want to reach over and grab her. And this fish, just have a look at this. I'll bring it up. This fish is actually swimming really well now because it's had time just to relax and enjoy the sunset. The sunset tonight's going to be pretty hot. We call it a barbecue. Well, they say tide and time waits for no man, and nothing has been truer than that saying today. We've just waited for those rocks to basically get covered as the tide backs up, and you can see it's a totally different picture now than it was 2 hours ago. We've had barramundi madness with fish going off everywhere. I just decided to throw a lure in because I've been waiting for the right time. Very first cast, it got smashed by a fish. So now it's very exciting times because this is what we wait for as anglers. That period when the fish are there and they're on the chew. Very, very exciting. Let's hope we get a few more. Yep. Yes. Oh, that's a good fish.
That's a good fish.
This is a good fish.
Yeah, we got one.
Big fish. This is a big fish. Big fish. Oh. Troy, did you see that?
I saw that, mate. That's what we're here for.
This is a big fish now. You know what I reckon, mate?
Oh, yes.
I reckon we actually pull the pick and chase this guy because it's a big fish and there's boats trolling everywhere here. This is a hot spot. We were just about to pull the pick and start throwing some lures on this colour change. I cast the last mullet out on this rod. And I've just... Guys, let's chase this fish before we get cut off. This is a big, big barramundi. I cannot tell you how big it was when it came out. It just took the bait and went. And I was just changing. I had a little 3D minnow on a white one. And I was just about to put a big green one on, thinking, that's good, the anchor's in the boat, thinking that with the big green one I might get a better chance of fish actually seeing it. And I wasn't quite through tying it on, and this thing just went. And I can take a breath now. I'm excited. Rob, this fish is going to come out in a second, and you're going to get a chance to see him. I'm going to back the drag off. Last thing I want to do is have a catastrophe here. There's my wind-on leader. I'm actually using one of Ted's wind-ons, and I want to say g'day to Ted. Mr. Ted Compain, you're in your 70s. I know you're not well, mate, so this barra's for you. Keep making those wind-ons, and your son Steve and your grandson Shane, they're good fishos, and I love their work. Oh, what have we got here? Oh, look at the size of him. That's a big, big fish. Okay, come on. Troy, I reckon we go up and cut him off from hitting that snag. He's swimming straight for it. This is a big
We'll get around the other side of him.
Yep. No, just keep going that way. Yep, drive that way. And then we'll block him off at the pass. Keep going like that. That's perfect, mate. That's perfect. Okay, just here he is now. Slow down. Sorry, excuse my back, Rob. Well, local knowledge, I just can't stress it enough. Troy said we must be here, and obviously being such a keen angler, I got him out of bed at the crack of dawn. You've got to remember always listen, but you know what? Where would you want to be? Apart from in the Kimberleys on the Pentecost River. I got him out of bed at the crack of dawn. We had a beautiful morning. We just looked at the wildlife. We saw some crocs, caught a little barra. But as he said, this is the money tide. This is when the fish will be here. And this, I'm scared to say it, is a massive, massive fish. Oh, look at the size of that.
Yes.
Let's just take our time here, mate. I'll walk back. I'll fall over, I'll fall over. I'm standing again.
That excitement gets you going, doesn't it?
Oh, it's wrong.
Big barra.
Okay, mate. Let's just take our time.
Take him up your
He's
way,
not
then
quite
bring him back
spent
my
yet.
way to his side. Oh, we missed him. Sorry, mate. He's just a little bit too close to the boat.
All right. Take your time.
Oh.
Here. Geez, a good fish, mate. And he's hooked right in the hinge of the jaw. Here we go. Not ready. Not ready. Here we go. Just head first, mate. Head first. Nice and slow. Straight in. Straight in.
Inside.
Oh my golly gosh.
Oh, he broke the net, did he? No.
That is possibly the biggest barramundi I've ever caught in my life, mate. Thank you so much.
Well done, mate. Well done. Hey?
He is a horse. Oh, I can't even fathom it. I cannot fathom it. I'm going to try and lift this fish out of the net if we have a boga grip.
Those boat grips.
Oh, he's got to be 50 to 60 pound. He's got to be 50 to 60 pound. This
Sorry, mate.
is one of
I'll just get us
the
out of the
greatest
deeper water.
moments of my angling career. We're going to put him back. It is as big as a barramundi comes. Its head is as big as mine. Look at this. Its head is as big as mine. Yes! Home Valley Station. How good is this joint? Oh, I can't believe it. Is that up there with the biggest barra you've ever seen?
Oh, mate, that's the biggest one I've ever boated.
Now, get me a boga grip if we can find it. I just want to make...
This rock.
I just want to... Oh, I can't believe it. I cannot believe this fish. Yes! Okay, come on, mate. Let's swim this fish. Just turn around to show the camera. I want you to see Home Valley barramundi. Well over 1.20 metre of barra. It's got to be 50 to 60 pound, mate. Doesn't it?
He's heavy.
He's heavy. I just want to swim it. Look, it could get away, but I don't want anything happening to this fish that could risk its life. Oh, look at that.
Paul, you were keen to get out of bed early, but I told you lunchtime. We stuck to the plan, and look at the results, mate.
It is a dinosaur from the prehistoric age. Now, at this stage, it is just so important. This is a trophy fish. This is a fish that you would fly around the world to catch. You'd seriously do 3 laps of the globe. It is so important at this stage just to swim this fish and make sure... Oh, look, and there's the mullet I caught it on, just floated away. Look at that. You can actually grab that mullet if you want. And you know what the funny thing is about that mullet? That's the same mullet that caught the last barra, because I kept him for dinner and actually gilled and gutted him. And I got the mullet out and then caught this. This fish, as I was saying, you'd swim around the globe for it. It must go back because this is a big female. This is the fish that repopulates this system, and I want to look after her. Oh, Troy, you are now officially the greatest barramundi guide in the world. Do you like that?
I like that, mate.
Now, I'm very lucky. The last thing my beautiful wife said to me this morning, Paul, take the camera. So I packed the little Olympus waterproof. I'm going to get a picture that is going to live in my memory forever. I'm going to swim this fish first. I like that the gills are actually moving. Now I'm going to get a photo that's going on the wall at home. And you know what? You might even see it on my website too. That website is ifishtv.com.au. Just look for the giant chrome flash and it'll be my barra. I can't believe it. Okay, we've swum this fish for a good 5 minutes. Her gills are moving beautifully. I'm going to lift her back in for a photo. Now, if you can help me, mate, I really want to support this belly. I'm going to grab her by the jaw. If you can... Oh, that's good that she's kicking like that. Are you right to get under there?
Yep, so you pull straight across and I'll come up.
And you just lift.
Oh, jeez, I'll tell you.
That's it, support the belly. Support the belly. Oh, just look at that.
That's a barramundi.
I just want to keep looking. You know your fish are big when you need your mates to hold them. Actually, let's just take a photo of me and my brand new best friend, eh, Dicko? And this is going to go in the memory bank forever. Cheers! You know it's hard work when you got to lift your fish like this. It doesn't get any better than this when it comes to barramundi fishing. Remember these 3 words, home valley station. You'll catch barramundi just like this one. And don't forget Troy, because he is the man. This girl's going back. I can't believe she bottomed the scales out at 25 kegs. Hang on, see you later. Bye from Home Valley, the home of the big barra. I think you'll have to change this joint to home barra station. What do you reckon, Troy?
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, I'm gonna swim her. In fact, what we might do, mate, I might even get you just to kick along in forward.
Yeah, just...
And I'll swim this fish. She's still full of beans.
Get some water through her gills.
Still full of beans, but I just want to make sure, because she is just the best. Troy, I've got an idea. Let's, if we can, take me to shallow water. I want to get out and swim this fish because I don't want her to sink to the bottom. I want to make sure she lives. Is that cool?
We can manage that, Paul.
Fantastic. Towed this girl for 1 kilometre to the shore, and it's been really good for her. She's been biting down on this grip the whole way, which means she's getting her beans back. I don't want anything to happen to her except for successful release. So girl, oh, that's better. Come around here. You know what, there's saltwater crocs here, but I don't care, because, oh, look at that, she's full of beans. So, one last chance to say goodbye to my little girl. I just can't believe this. And she's going back full of beans. There you go, darling. There you go. Oh, look at you. Look at you go. Oh, yes. You know what? Seeing over 50 pound of Australian barramundi swim away makes me even more excited than when I caught it. I looked after that fish, I put her back, we towed her, and she's pumped. She's going back to make millions of more barramundi. Get to the East Kimberley. She's still out there somewhere. And there's a HV8 brand on her back. That's Home Valley's brand. That's the brand they put on the cattle out here. And the reason the original owner went HV8 instead of HVS, he was scared when the cattle wranglers come, they might change that S into an 8 and he'd lose his cows. So he beat them to it. Don't forget, Big Barra, HV8. Yes! I think there's a big flock of corellas flying past to say good morning. The amazing thing about this, it's 52.5 steps from where I woke up this morning. The family's going fishing now. We've got an electric motor, and today it's powered by diesel because he's our guide. Let's go fishing, guys. This is the beautiful Bindoola Creek. Isn't it just sensational? And this is what our room where we've been staying actually looks out on. And every day we've been here, Jet's just been saying, let's go look for crocodiles, let's catch a barra. It's had a few hours up our sleeve this morning. We're basically going to troll up the creek, then troll back down the other side. We've got a few little baits. We're going to drop them at a snag. I've already had a nice hit on a small barramundi. And this morning's all about just getting out and seeing what this place is about. And it is just too cool for school. Jetty, very first bait in the water, mate. What do you think I've got? A fish, good boy. Let's have a look what it is. Oh no!
Oh.
It's a stinky catfish.
Stinky cat.
Oh no! Well, what a thing to do before you go and have your breakfast. Come out here, check out the wildlife. We sort of saw a crocodile, didn't we, mate? We saw a big boil from a crocodile, caught a catty, and had a cracker morning. Now it's time to go back and have some breakfast. Oh, and the fish is still biting. Nice work, Dale.
Meet Moo, Home Valley Station's resident pet. After being orphaned as a calf, he was hand-raised and now wanders around the place thinking he owns it. And Jet wants to take him home. I see a small excess baggage issue.
Let's get some more. Yeah,
Did Moo say excuse me?
Beautiful. He wants the bread. I think you can see Daddy's bread.
Feed Moo.
big. And I get in the car. He got you.
Hey. I love you, Moo.
Where did it go?
When it comes to horse riding, I feel a bit like a fish out of water. Some people look comfortable in the saddle, especially my better half, Christy. As for me, I think I'll stick to fishing. Luckily, the Home Valley Station horses are a pretty laid-back bunch.
So Cyril, just like I love my fishing, you're obviously very passionate about horses. Where did you develop that passion? Where's your love of horses come from?
Well, my grandfather, he was a stockman, and then my uncle and my father. So it runs in the blood. We own a station, so we have to love the horse and be a stockman.
Beautiful. So how long have you been at Home Valley Station for?
Oh, this is my 4 years now.
I saw a beautiful movie called Australia. Now, why did the people who made Australia come out here to the Kimberley to film, you think?
Well, we've got a bit of a paradise in the Kimberleys. We've got the hill and we've got the land.
And how long were the people from Australia at Home Valley Station filming?
Oh, probably about 12 months.
Yeah? And were you in the movie?
Kind of.
Hey, Drover, take me to Faraway Downs.
Mate, it's only in the movie, mate.
Looks like Faraway Downs to me. Obviously the fishing here is amazing,
Sure.
as I've seen firsthand, but people who want to come to Home Valley, what other things can they expect to take part in to get that experience and feel like they are the Kimberley?
Yeah, no, certainly. It's gorge country, East Kimberley. So we make sure that you know, our tourists are taking to the right places, having the direction of our traditional owners. So you'll find yourself swimming in an ancient gorge that under the care of a guide that can actually not only tell you about the gorge, but maybe give you a bit of a story about what it means to them. There's a unique difference with the indigenous guides that we have coming from our hospitality and tourism courses. So walking gorges and swimming in waterfalls, say no more. It's a beautiful thing to do in the Kimberley.
Christy and Jet are in a beautiful rock pool up there, enjoying a waterfall, having a fantastic time. I've just come down for a look around and, of course, a fish. To put things in perspective, this may look pretty big, but really, in a jar of hundreds and thousands, this is one tiny little speck.
Whether it be a waterfall, riding a horse, doing a mini muster, or simply getting up at the right time of the morning, watching the sunrise, that lovely gold, and smelling the spinifex warming in the sun, my friend. It is an amazing place.
I have to say I am very, very blessed. I get to come to some amazing places and I've been fortunate enough to catch some super fish, but very few places come close to Home Valley Station and very few fish come close to that amazing barramundi. This is a trip I will never, ever forget.